Tonight at Power Trip, 8-man tag team action. The Mass Cyon, Mims, and Ill Begotten will take on Idolmania Sports Management.
The who? The ill what?
Ill Begotten.
Ill, what is it? It's ill what?
It's going to be ill forgotten after we done with him tonight.
Ill forgotten.
But you know what we're not forgetting? Cyon. He just don't get it.
Of course he doesn't get
He's
it.
always coming back. He likes a beating.
Well, he's going to get one tonight.
What do you have to say about that, Kyle?
He has nothing to say about it. He has nothing to say about anything because whatever he says has no relevancy, is not important, it's ridiculous, it's not relevant, you will say nothing. The only thing that matters here is Idolmania Sports Management and nothing else. And William Patrick Corgan, you better get that straight. Get it through your big, thick head.
Tonight.
The energy, the electricity, it is palpable as we get closer and closer to the Crockett Cup. And we have an especially violent episode of NWA Powerrr in store for you. Thom versus Nick in an I Quit match here inside a sold-out Valor Hall. And in our main event, the 10 pounds of gold is on the line. Trevor Murdoch's finally getting his hands on Matt Cardona. But first, at this time, joining me is Cyon. You have assembled a team to take on Idolmania Sports Management in a tag team matchup. There has been lots of rumors and speculation about who your father is. We know he's a former NWA champion. So in front of me, this sold-out crowd, and the millions watching at home, I'm going to ask you straight up, who is your father?
Ever since I told everyone around the world that my father was an NWA champion, that seems to be the only thing on people's minds. But tonight, here at a sold-out Oak Grove, Kentucky arena, you don't want to hear anyone talk. You want to see people fight. You want to see competition that only the NWA can bring you, and that's why I'm here. Don't be concerned about my past, because my future is a hell of a lot more brighter, Joe.
That tag team match is next.
The Ill Begotten!
We are starting off hot on this episode of Powerrr, coming to you from Valor Hall in Oak Grove. Ladies and gentlemen, do not forget, in our main event, it's the NWA World Heavyweight Championship. Trevor Murdoch finally getting his hands on Matt Cardona. That's going to be exciting. So is this 8-man tag team matchup.
I'm actually looking forward to Trevor getting his hands on Matt Cardona.
Oh, I know you are.
Long time coming. Tag team partner from Clarksville, Tennessee, weighing in at 262 pounds, this is Big Strong Mims.
What do you think about Mims joining forces with the Ill Begotten and Cyon to take on Idolmania Sports Management?
Well, the more the merrier to take on Idol Sports Management, Joe.
Well, and it gives you, it gives you a whole different aspect. I mean, this is Big Strong Mims. I mean, this guy's an up-and-comer. Everything he's done has been fantastic.
I really like Mims.
Yeah.
I like everything about him. Everything he stands for. I'm big fan of Mims.
And their opponents, accompanied by Austin Idol, this is Idolmania Sports Management. The team of Black Jeez, Jordan Clearwater, All Day Marshe Rockett, and the NWA World Television Champion, the Monster, Tyrus!
That is an imposing force right there. 4 men, 4 athletes at the top of their game, including our NWA World Television Champion. Oh, here we go. Here we go, right by the commentary.
Don't make eye contact. It just gets worse.
Can't with him.
There's the Monster Tyrus holding on to that television championship. Millions of people see that on his shoulder on Gutfeld Weekly on Fox. Now he's brought it into Valor Hall. You know he wants to hold on to it as we get closer and closer to the Crockett Cup.
Well, he has made it his.
Oh boy.
He has made it his goal to elevate this title, and he's done that. He's done that.
All right. We don't need much.
Oh, that's right.
But it looks good.
All right, Tyrus, let's go handle your business in the ring. Leave him alone. Just go handle your business in the ring, okay?
I think he's picking the wrong man to threaten. I would not want to threaten Tim Storm. Tim Storm. Oh, jeez, here we go. We are being accosted over here at the commentary table by this group of clowns.
I need to pay you.
Yeah, I see you.
I need to pay
see you. I see.
This
Telling me I need to pay him to watch him take it off. I'll pay him next time.
This is that third grader who's sitting behind you pulling your hair because they want attention. That's all they want is your attention.
I was taught at a young age.
I appreciate you, sir. That's what we're doing. There you go. Show some appreciation. The definition of liking.
All right, you could hear Black Jeez coming through our headsets there. He gave Tim Storm a cordial handshake at least. Look, we got to get to some action in the ring here. That was a lot of shenanigans here on the outside.
It's always shenanigans with them.
When you look at Idolmania Sports Management, you look at this combination of 4 guys, you really do. You see a combination of athletic ability, size, strength, speed, quickness.
Oh, what?
And a lot of
What I'd like to have right now, keep the noise down. While the golden boy takes off his robe and show you what pure gold looks like. Take it away.
Golden Boy basking in this moment. I have never seen someone take off a jacket slower.
Right?
We have television time. Can we get to some wrestling, please? I know Cyon wants to.
Well, I think everybody on this side of the ring is ready to go.
They've been ready to go.
I think everybody on the other side of the ring is too busy talking to.
Just all mouth. Just one big mouth.
Let's see if they can back up their big game
Cheer
here.
for your golden boy.
I'm so glad they're over there.
There we go.
And Idol stays over there.
Oh, that frustration was just built up in Cyon. He said it at the top of the program. He's here to wrestle. He's here to fight. He's here to send a message to Idolmania Sports Management. Send a message to the television champion. But he gets backed into the wrong corner by Jordan Clearwater.
There's a whole lot of bad things that can happen over there.
Oh, he's being held back. He's being held back by Tyrus and Marshe Rockett.
Come on.
Eats a boot. And now Cyon finding an opening. Suplex.
Beautiful.
But Cyon came out of that corner pretty strong considering the position
The position he was in, absolutely.
Raining down left hands from the southpaw Cyon. two. And Jeez even getting into the match. Trying to break things up. Tag is made. Here comes Alex.
Head snap.
Well, Ill Begotten have had a pretty good run of matches where they've represented themselves well.
Tag is made. In comes Rush Freeman.
1-1, boys, let's go! 1-1,
Picking him up, bringing him down. Beautiful.
Nice combination.
Combination of Ill Begotten, shoulders down, and Jeez was there to break things up. Ill Begotten trying to find a foothold in the tag team division here as we get closer and closer to the Crockett Cup. Rake of the eyes by Jordan Clearwater. Tag is made, in comes Black Jeez.
And Rush Freeman, not the same experience that Cyon has had. He does not want to get caught in the corner.
Oh, it's a slugfest between these two. Tag is made. Double vertical suplex. Floats into the cover. Shoulders down. Kick out at one.
There's some fast-paced action going on in this match right now.
Whips him into the corner. Beautiful drop kick.
Well, I think, you know, one of the things about an 8-man tag is there's always almost a fresh man. Yeah, it's got a lot of movement.
That affected Black Jeez just as much as it did Alex.
Backs him into the corner. Chop to the chest.
Uh-oh, here comes the big man.
Here comes Tyrus.
He's got his eyes fixated on Cyon. Oh, this is
Not a bad one there. Oh, that escape from the television champion.
Well, and he's TV champ for a reason. You know, I mean, he talks a lot, he talks a big game, but he backs every bit of it up. I mean, he's big, he's athletic, he's strong, he's mean, he's intelligent. He is a champion in every sense of the word. Even if he is with Austin Idol.
And yet the attention's still on Cyon from the television champion. I think he's trying to send him a big message here.
And those two guys have a history.
Intense power.
Yeah, those two guys have a history, and they've battled it pretty good, so I don't think either one of them have forgotten where that came from. Marshe Rockett coming in.
We've seen how devastating it can be with that rocket kick. 100% knockout blow. No one gets up from that.
Well, I think it's, there it is right there. It's deceptive.
Into the cover.
Yeah, he wasn't getting up there either. It's deceptive how big and strong Marshe Rockett is because of that athletic ability. You see somebody leave their feet, hit that drop kick like that. That's a big man that's leaving his feet.
How do you guys feel about Marshe Rockett's decision to join forces with NWA Sports Management?
I'm surprised, to be honest with you. You know, I don't think he needed to align himself to be successful with the NWA. I think he's already shown that.
He's doing great on his own.
Yeah.
What a move there from Jordan Clearwater.
But to be honest, you know, it hasn't hurt him. If anything, it's probably helped him a little bit. It just surprised me.
Yeah. Oh, for God's sakes.
Why?
Nobody does it like Dirty Dango. Don't even try this, Jordan.
Yeah, he's
Your
going
hips
to
definitely lie.
Getting some separation here.
Those hips, yeah, they lie. They lie. Both men down now.
You can see that whole corner chomping at the bit. Mims, Cyon, Rush Freeman, they all want to get this match.
But he didn't even know where he was. He was reaching for the wrong corner.
Mims taking it to Jeez, knocking him off his feet. Boom.
Big size advantage here for Mims. Big strong headbutt. Backed into Tyrus. Tyrus grabbing the hair. Mims pushing Tyrus, still on the apron though. Full head of steam into Black Jeez. And here comes Mims. Picking up Spinebuster. This could be it here. In the cover, no. Jordan Clearwater's right there. And in comes Cyon. Picking Clearwater up on his shoulders. Death Valley driver.
Beautiful. Wow. He's not finished with him yet.
Flying through the air, connects the elbow to the face.
Flying Cyon.
just getting mercilessly bit. And here comes Jeez! Wow! Black Jeez flying through the air with everything that he's got.
That air time.
The history that Austin Idol and Cyon have right now, there's been a lot of speculation.
Oh, and now on the outside, Marshe Rockett taking it to Rush Freeman.
Absolutely put the boots to him.
There's just chaos ensuing all around us right now.
This has really become unglued. It's what you kind of expect from him to make matches. And look at Big Strong Mims. The straps are down.
I like
he wants a piece of the big man.
Mims is not backing down from Tyrus. I love seeing this heart and fire in Mims.
Can he beat him?
Body slam. He's going for that body slam.
Marshe Rockett. And an interference. Drops him down. Shoulders are down.
Idolmania Sports Management!
Strong Mims.
He gave it everything. He got completely blindsided by Marshe Rockett. Big victory here for Idolmania Sports Management as we get closer and closer to the Crockett Cup. I'm sure we'll never hear the end of it from Austin Idol.
Geez.
Well, do you ever hear the end of anything from Austin Idol?
I'm just so blessed and grateful, Tim, that I'm sitting beside you tonight and not that loudmouth heathen.
I'll just tell you that listening and watching him is
Oh, come
painful.
on. What are you doing to Mims? Don't do this.
Why is this
Don't
necessary?
do this, Tyrus.
Come on,
Don't do this. It's over.
Oh, come on!
That is
the
completely-
heart punch.
That
Oh, no.
devastating heart punch. Mims is out.
This is just so cowardly.
Folks, we got to take a break. When we come back, I Quit match. Tom Latimer takes on Nick Aldis.
Wrestling fans, tickets are now on sale for the NWA's highly anticipated debut at Skyway Studios in Nashville, Tennessee. Come, witness wrestling as it was meant to be Monday, March 21st and Tuesday, March 22nd, as we head back into the fire for 2 packed days of NWA Powerrr tapings. And then, Wednesday, March 23rd, we showcase the most exciting talent the wrestling world has to offer as NWA USA comes to Nashville, Tennessee. For tickets, visit NWATix.com. That's NWATix.com.
You can accomplish anything.
All you have to do is put in the work.
The NWA All Access Annual Pass on FITE. For just $49.99 a year, you can see all 6 NWA pay-per-views each year live on FITE. Enjoy first-run airings each Tuesday of new NWA Powerrr episodes at a historical time of 6:05. Watch the action of NWA USA Saturdays, and experience FITE-only special events and content like the acclaimed 10 Pounds of Gold series. All the action, all the power, all the pay-per-views, all the shows. For only $49.99, that's a savings of over $100 opposed to if you were just to order it all alone. To subscribe, visit FITE.tv today. That's FITE.tv. NWA All Access on FITE. Why bother with monthly subscriptions when 1 year gets it all?
I do it with my whole heart, okay? And if Tim Storm wants to throw me out there with this girl, whatever her name is, then be it.
The following match is an I Quit match. Introducing first, from Chesterfield, England, weighing in at 261 pounds, He is the maniacal king of all evil. This is Thom Latimer.
What could Nick Aldis possibly do to Thom Latimer to make him say I quit? What's he doing with Kyle? Tim, I'm going to ask this to you because you've been to war with both of these gentlemen. I mean, what do you say? Oh, well, there you go. Maybe that's the answer. Bring out the hardware early.
Well, but here's the situation with these guys, and it's been taken up a notch.
Thom, we have an I quit match right now. I don't know why you want me in the ring, but
Kyle, you know me good and well. I've never been good at quitting, and I don't plan on starting anytime soon. Nick Aldis, this ends tonight. Nick, I will make you squeal the words, I quit, and I will be the franchise player. I will be the face of the NWA. Yeah! And you will know my name, and you will fear it. So Nick, get your ass out here now and meet your maker. Get out!
Latimer's ready for war.
I think one of the things you have to be careful of is to say, you know, the words, this is more than personal, but this is actually best friends who have now become worst enemies, and this is more than personal.
this is the national treasure, Nick Aldis.
Aldis is going straight for him. Just the chair, and here we go.
Wasting no time.
And I don't see a whole lot of wrestling going on in this matchup.
No,
this is a fight.
Straight up brawling for sure.
Well, if you're going to take somebody and you're going to make them quit, you're going to have to take their heart, you're going to have to take their soul, and the only way to do that is beat that person down to the point where they have nothing left to give. And that's both of these guys, both of these men's goals.
Fast press, ground and pound by the former heavyweight champion. Picking up Thom. Comes out behind the back door. Aldis catches the foot, ducks the enziguri. He's looking for that Kingsley
He's going for it early.
Well, it's a perfect move. Got to get that submission in.
If you can end this early, you're saving both men a lot of potential damage to their bodies.
Aldis sending him to the outside. Aldis started back when Aldis lost the championship at NWA 73. Nick Aldis then had a victory over Thom at Hard Times 2, but the bad blood remains between these British behemoths as Nick Aldis was looking for the penalty kick. Face first into the apron. And Velvet, you have to think about a match like this. These two guys, they've wrestled with each other for so long.
They know each other inside out, yes.
That's what he said.
Got you.
Get that thing up.
Oh.
I think that was a no. I think that was a no.
Pretty sure that was a hell no.
Look at it, using the turnbuckle, using that button.
Oh my God.
He got to the turnbuckle.
His teeth.
His mouth's full of turnbuckle.
His teeth are on the steel turnbuckle.
Oh my God.
It hurts my teeth looking at it.
It's like you were saying, these guys came up doing caravan shows together on the circuit in the UK.
Yeah.
There is nothing that either one hasn't seen from the other on both sides.
Yeah,
they've
have
lived
each other's
together.
number.
They've ridden together. They've done shows for 20 years together.
Yeah.
There are no surprises.
He's got a spare turnbuckle. He's got that spare turnbuckle hook. Goes to the midsection. Right into the spine. Kevin Keenan.
Now, what he said?
Never.
No, he didn't just say no. He said never.
Never. This is just
picking him up.
ugly.
Into the camel clutch.
I'll be honest. I think I know.
No.
I honestly can't see either one of these guys quitting.
He's got the hook. You sadistic man. You sadistic monster. You psychopath. You psychopath.
Hey,
Got a fish hooked with
King
it.
of all evil. King of all evil, and that is as evil as it
This
gets.
is really hard to watch. This is really hard to watch right now.
Aldis was able to get the turnbuckle free, get a shot to the head of Thom Latimer.
Man, oh man. Oof.
I don't know what it's going to take for either of these guys to say the words "I quit." I don't see it happening.
He literally almost ripped Aldis' cheek off.
Think about where he's attacking. He's attacking the mouth,
Right.
the inside of the mouth. He's got a chain.
Well, there's a good start. I said I can't see anything that would make either one of these guys quit, but.
And the dealer has found another card up his sleeve in the face of that steel chain.
Oh,
no. Come on.
You're fine. Hey, I just.
Oh, no.
Oh, my gosh.
Swinging for the fences. Latimer, a burning disaster.
Velvet, I don't know that this is the right place for you. I don't know that there's any place safe at this point.
This is dangerous.
This is dangerous.
He's wrapping the fist. He's wrapping it. Oh, in the face. Straight to the face with a steel chain.
Oh, my gosh. Right in front of us here, too.
No.
This is like... this is hard to
Wrapping
watch.
up-
This
He's
is hard to watch
wrapping
right
it.
now. Oh, I can't.
No. Dragging the national treasure to that bottom turnbuckle again, using it as a weapon again. Aldis is doing
If he
everything he can
gets
to try to
that-
stop him.
If he gets that arm twisted right, he could break that arm.
Yeah, and I don't think he would care.
He's trying to break his arm.
Oh, the pain. The pain that
see
is
it.
ensuing
No.
right now throughout Aldis' arm. He still says no. Referee asked him, do you quit? No.
You can see the pain registering on his face, and if he gets that arm,
Okay.
Aldis with the advantage.
What do you say? Piss off.
I don't think, was that the first time Latimer's been asked?
yes, absolutely it is.
First time in the matchup, but now Nick Aldis has the chain.
Now he's got it wrapped, and he's got it wrapped about 10 times.
Oh, payback. Oh, yeah. This is this.
Latimer's collapsed. He's on the concrete.
I mean, we've got more chairs. We've gotten a "Do you quit? Never. Do you quit? Piss off."
Yeah.
I mean, these guys. I don't know what it's going to take for either one of these men to actually say the words "I quit." I don't see it happening.
More brutal and gruesome can this
Well,
get?
but the scary thing about that is the answer is a lot more brutal and a lot more scary.
From what we've seen,
Yeah, it's these guys, and it's a pure hatred at this point.
Yeah, I mean, think about where it started. These two were brothers. These two formed strictly business together.
In their weddings, and it's legal, and that's legal.
Yeah.
But let me just frame this for a second, and the words that Thom Latimer.
Wait. What's he gonna say?
He says no.
The words that Thom Latimer said was, "This will not be over until you're dead." That's what he said. And whether we like that, whether we meant that, it
Raining
doesn't
down
matter. He
shots
said
now
it.
with that steel chair.
Those are some pretty heavy words, Tim.
But look what he's doing, though.
He's trying to
Yeah,
kill
I
him.
mean,
Literally trying to kill
Think of
him.
how much Tom's already taken from Nick Aldis, really usurping him as the leader of Strictly Business, casting him aside after years of friendship, and now stabbing that knife into the back of Nick Aldis, and now pummeling him as he's seated in the corner.
At this point, it's almost not a knife in the back. It's almost a knife in the stomach, looking in your eyes and twisting it in your guts because he wants to hurt him. What's good for one is good for the other. You had the rope to the lower body earlier, now you've got an elbow. Oh, no.
What's Aldis thinking? He's got him up.
This is dangerous.
No.
Straight to the back of the neck.
No, he's not.
Oh my gosh.
Can you even talk from the position?
He said no. That is a heck of a position to be stuck in
No,
right
he's
now.
not.
I would not want to trade places with Latimer for
all the
all the
way.
money in the world.
Oh my God, Thom! He might be out. He's got to be unconscious.
He may not be able to say, "I quit."
Wait.
Swatting the
Did he
microphone
say
away.
no after that?
He may not be able to speak
I don't
at this
know.
point.
He literally went face first into that steel chair.
Into the top part.
Bring the commentary team to their feet,
it's-
literally.
He may not be able to speak right now.
He's looking for the figure four, gets dumped to the outside. And somehow Latimer's on his feet.
my
With a drop kick.
gosh.
The basement drop kick. And somehow,
But that's the thing, there's
How
no
is he
time.
on his feet?
no idea.
There is no pin. There is only "I quit." That's it. That's the only thing that ends this match.
This match could last literally all night.
He's got the steel steps. He's moved them into position. The skull bouncing bouncing off of that steel step. Oh no, he's got the chair.
Oh my God.
Oh, Latimer, come on.
Oh, this is not good right
No,
here.
no, 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 no.
Oh my God, did you see that?
He's got a broken arm. He's got a broken arm.
He has targeted that arm, including the chain. He may have just broken Nick Aldis' arm.
That exposed elbow. And now Nick Aldis is begging for more. He's got him set up again.
No, this is not good. Nick Aldis is in really bad position right now.
You hit like a bitch.
Oh, okay. I think that means no, right? That means no?
He's got the chair again.
Oh, that was the wrong thing to say right now. What is Latimer going to do? Do you guys see?
He's trapped.
Look at the position Latimer is in right now. What is he? Oh, that really could have been bad if he connected. But Latimer is feeling the ricochet from the chair hitting the steps. This is insane.
Tom, talk to me here.
The damage that these guys have done to each other at this point.
And it's not over yet.
We've seen Nick Aldis in all kinds of hardcore matches before, but this might be the most brutal matchup I have ever seen either of these men in.
Well, again, when you make this personal, there is no way to come out of this except taking the other one's will away.
What's Aldis thinking here?
Oh my gosh! Velvet, seriously, I don't know where to tell you to go, where to stand. There is not a safe place in this area for you right now.
I cannot believe what we just witnessed.
Diving crossbody off of the apron.
Somebody's got to quit. Somebody has to end this.
Look at us. We are literally on our feet, all three of us right here.
The whole building is.
Well, I'm not speaking for you guys. I'm ready to move because I don't know that I'm safe.
Yeah, no one in this building is safe right now.
I think it's going to be a miracle for these two to even get to their feet.
After that, look at the table.
Yeah,
look at the table.
The table's broken and both these guys are broken.
I almost can't believe that Nick Aldis can even use his right arm at this point. After all the damage that was taken.
Okay, just watch. Just stuff's flying everywhere out here.
Aldis is drawing a line in the sand. He wants to finish this inside the ring.
Back in the ring.
Sorry.
And here we go. These two somehow finding the energy, finding the strength to tee up, center of the ring.
I don't think anybody's tapping up punches.
I am just stunned at what we have seen so far out of both men, and to have them both on
Single leg takedown. Trying to set him up. Look at
here's one way to make it clear.
the eyes. Car in the eyes. All legal here in this no disqualification match. I quit match here. A thing of beauty.
Hey, to be able to execute that spear after what we just saw.
That's what I'm saying. I just can't believe they have any gas left in the tank.
Oh no, we're seeing change what we've seen before.
This is what took Nick Aldis out initially.
The pile driver onto the chair, just like we saw in St. Louis. He dropped him on the chair. Tailbone first, crashing into the steel.
Oh, gosh. How much more can each man take? How much more?
Let's not forget,
back in the ring.
Nick Aldis was taken out of the chase in St. Louis on a stretcher thanks to Thom Latimer and a series of pile drivers with the help of a steel chair. And what is Aldis thinking now?
Oh no, this is not good. The neck, the neck.
Oh, he's choking the life out of him with that steel chair.
You could literally crush his windpipe.
Oh, he's trying to break his windpipe. He's trying to break his windpipe.
How about now?
I don't even know if he can talk.
I'll never quit. You'll have to kill me.
Oh
my God, no. Come on, Thom.
No, what I'm afraid of
Think about your future.
Guys,
oh my God.
This is
what I'm
really
afraid
hard
of
to
is that one of them may actually kill the other.
This is hard to watch right now.
Thom, yes or no? Do you give up?
Still defiant.
I don't think he's going to quit. I don't think he's good. I don't think either one
The King's
will.
like Cloverleaf.
Oh my God.
With his head.
With his head. Come on.
I don't think I've ever seen this before.
You got nowhere to go.
Wait a minute.
Here's
Here comes
Camille. Camille, she's got the towel.
This could end his...
What is she?
Tom's saying never. He'll never submit. He'll never quit.
She's throwing
Camille's throwing out the towel.
She's throwing in the towel.
Camille just threw in the towel.
She's saying he's had enough. She's
Camille
saying
just threw in the towel.
I get where she's coming from.
She had to do it.
She did.
Had to do it for
but
her
this
fiancé.
might cause problems between the two of them
Love's
now.
gonna conquer all.
Does it?
It had to save Tom Latimer's life. Tom Latimer
Wait a minute,
was
wait.
going to die.
How is he going to react to this, though? Hold on.
Does love conquer all when you're both professional wrestlers and everything you work for and do is to win?
If you love someone, you're not going to watch them die in front of you. You're going to do what you can to save them.
I'm just curious.
Camille had to do it.
She did.
had no choice.
I get where she's coming from. I do. I'm just curious to see how Latimer is going to react to this.
He is not happy. Well, to be honest, I'm not sure Nick Aldis is happy either.
That's not the outcome he wanted.
No, he look at the look on Nick's face. He was not finished with Latimer.
He wanted Tom Latimer to capitulate. He wanted Tom Latimer to give up, and he didn't get what he wanted, even though he won the match.
Yeah.
He wanted to hear those words. I quit. He didn't hear them.
That's what would have satisfied Aldis the most tonight.
What a brutal matchup, ladies and gentlemen. When we come back from the break, the 10 pounds of gold is on the line. Matt Cardona takes on Trevor Murdoch.
It's back. The NWA presents the return of the Crockett Cup Tag Team Tournament live on pay-per-view from the historic Nashville Fairgrounds Saturday, March 19th and Sunday, March 20th. No less than 20 teams, 2 nights, 1 massive event. Scheduled to appear are NWA World Tag Team Champions La Rebellion, the Briscoe Brothers, the British Invasion, Strictly Business, and many, many more. Tickets are on sale now at NWATix.com. That's NWATix.com.
For over 70 years, one name has stood for history, legacy, and tradition in professional wrestling, and the centerpiece of that legacy is the original lineal heavyweight championship of the world, the one that started them all, known to many as the 10 pounds of gold. Now, by popular demand, you can own your very own symbol of excellence, as the NWA has teamed up with Fandu Belts to bring you the official replica of the NWA World's Heavyweight Championship. This meticulously handcrafted belt is available in 2 options, the original pre-2021 Glory, as well as the revised 2021 version with the UK plate updated by yours truly. Own the granddaddy of them all, the 10 pounds of gold. To order, visit fandubelts.com/NWA.
Welcome back to the action inside Balor Hall. We are moments away from a huge main event, but before we do that, take a look at this footage. During the break, you see Tom Latimer. He has completely snapped. He was attacking members of security who were trying to help him to the back after that brutal I Quit match where Camille had to throw in the towel to stop that matchup there. But Tom Latimer obviously very frustrated at that situation.
I mean, what do you do in that situation, though, if you're Camille and you're watching the love of your life pretty much almost have his life ended? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, but where do you draw the line between that love for each other and that love for wrestling? Because they're both driven by winning. They're both driven by winning and being successful.
And it's that drive that brings us to this moment right here. Trevor Murdoch, our NWA World's Heavyweight Champion, really the embodiment of what it means to be a champion, is going on to what some may argue might be the future meaning of a champion. In Matt Cardona with his huge social media presence and his ideas of what it means to be the top person in the sport of professional wrestling. It's all coming to a head. It's all happening right now in our main event. Here comes the challenger with an opportunity to make history, to hold the 10 pounds of gold. This is a man who holds championships all over the place, whether it's Impact Wrestling or his internet championships or different organizations like AIW, but he's never held the 10 pounds of gold, and one could argue he's got a good shot at winning it tonight. He can throw Trevor Murdoch off of this game.
I just think Trevor Murdoch has been salivating at his chance to get his hands on Matt Cardona, because ever since Matt Cardona has come here to the NWA, I feel like he thinks he's God's gift to the NWA, saying the NWA needs to be saved, disrespecting every single person in the locker room, men, women, production. There are no limits to the disrespect that Matt Cardona has shown to the NWA, and I just think Trevor is just ready to take it to him tonight. Finally.
You can hold championships in any other organization you want, but there is no championship like the NWA World's Heavyweight Championship.
So much truth behind
It is the history of the business, and there's no greater championship than that. There's no more prestigious. He has an opportunity to do that tonight.
And he's looking very confident. Coming out here, flipping the bird to the fans here in Valor Hall. I think everything that we've seen Matt Cardona do was a calculated step to get to this moment.
If that's true, then it worked. I mean, he at every single turn he went after Trevor Murdoch. He did it in the ring. He did it behind his back. He did it to his face. He did it on social media. If that was his goal, he accomplished his goal, because here he is.
And now he will be face-to-face with Trevor Murdoch.
2 times Matt Cardona has stood over Trevor Murdoch, holding the 10 pounds of gold. He could do it again tonight, and then go home with it.
And then go, right.
Well, Trevor Murdoch has earned every second of being the NWA World Heavyweight Champion. He's not. He's coming to fight, because that's what Trevor Murdoch does.
He fights.
He looks pissed.
He is pissed. You don't come to the NWA and disrespect anybody. You just don't do that. And Trevor Murdoch being the NWA Heavyweight Champion, the face of this company right now, he's not going to let that happen.
Trevor Murdoch becoming the NWA World Heavyweight Champion in his hometown of St. Louis at NWA 73. He's held onto that championship for more than 160 days. Now that's longer than any reign by Dusty Rhodes. Wow. So you really have to think about how monumental that is for Trevor Murdoch.
That's huge.
Well, I know that winning that world's title meant everything to Trevor Murdoch. He considers it the pinnacle of his career. Yeah. It's what he aimed at. We know that he was a protege of Harley Race, who held that title, and he has earned that title, and he will fight to keep it.
Yeah, he wants to make Harley proud in every single match that he has. And Harley certainly would be proud if Trevor Murdoch could slap the taste out of Matt Cardona's mouth.
Yes, and with the NWA comes honor and it comes respect. 2 things that Matt Cardona has not shown since showing up here. The utter disrespect, like, it just sickens me.
He's focused. He's ready for a fight. Big fight feel here in Oak Grove, Kentucky. For our main event, the 10 pounds of gold is on the line. Kyle, take it away.
The following match is 1 fall with a 60-minute time limit and is for the NWA World Heavyweight Championship. Introducing first, the challenger. From Long Island, New York, weighing at 230 pounds, he is the self-proclaimed savior of the NWA. Always ready, Matt Cardona! And from St. Louis, Missouri, he is a man of the people. He weighs in at 260 pounds. He is the NWA World's Heavyweight Champion. He is Trevor Murdoch.
A little unexpected here tonight. We have a divided crowd for Trevor Murdoch.
Yeah, we do.
I think that really goes to show Matt Cardona and the influence that he has in the sport of professional wrestling. There's a reason why he's got 2 million Twitter followers.
Maybe he bought them, though.
Well, but and I think that's what we're seeing right now. It's in the world of social media today.
Social media is a huge influence.
It is a big influence. But Trevor Murdoch, what he stands for, is getting in the ring, showing what you can do, and fighting.
And fighting, yes.
So, I mean, you've almost got, I hate to say old school and new school, but you see that battle, you see it coming to a head right now.
And I like Trevor Murdoch as champion because he's an honorable champion.
Absolutely.
He represents the company well.
Yes, he does. Yeah, I mean, Trevor Murdoch is about the NWA
Built
World
on
title.
respect, trained, came up with just respect, and I love him as champion here.
And Matt Cardona giving no respect to Trevor Murdoch or to any of these fans here in the sold-out crowd.
I don't think Matt Cardona knows what respect is.
Crowd riling up. Cardona saying, "You ain't ready." When he calls himself always ready.
Yeah.
We will find out if indeed he is ready. If you take a look at Matt Cardona's gear, it is an homage to Christian Cage, a former NWA World's Heavyweight Champion. Perhaps he's trying to channel that. But now, collar number time. We've been waiting for weeks, we've been waiting for months. This is the moment. This is the match. Shots to the midsection by the champion. Sends off Matt Cardona. Cardona doing a shoulder tackle.
Solid. Off his feet.
Solid.
Nice hip tuck from Trevor.
Oh, Cardona lands on his feet and escapes.
Body slam, but somehow was able to maneuver out of it. It is very divided.
Yeah, it
Half
is.
the crowd singing, "You're not ready." Everyone else, you are ready. Always ready.
Makes you wonder if he is or he isn't. Or is this just more mind games he's playing to frustrate the champion? Trying to make Trevor Murdoch make a mistake.
That is hard to do. Trevor Murdoch is calculated. He's got experience. It is hard to get him to make a mistake.
Yeah.
But think about all these weeks Trevor Murdoch's had. Whether it's hard times or NWA Powerrr, he's always had to wrestle and have one eye over his shoulder. He knows that there might be something coming from behind.
When you're a champion, you're a target. You are just a target. You never know who's coming where, out of what, and how, and what they have with them.
But Matt Cardona seems to have been the thing that has been coming from behind, that has been coming after him and attacking him in the back. Like you said, he stood over him on a couple different occasions. And in those occasions, most of the time, Matt Cardona wasn't in the match.
That's true.
Right.
Someone else had taken Trevor Murdoch off his feet. Now it's one-on-one, mano-a-mano. As we are just weeks away, just a couple weeks away from the Crockett Cup.
Well, and not to take anything away from Matt Cardona as a wrestler. I mean, he's been successful everywhere he's gone for a reason. Yeah, for a reason.
Yes. But I just don't agree with the way he represents, himself and just the cockiness and coming in here and I don't know.
Champion baiting Cardona in, drop toe hold, follows it up. That is a third hip toss in this match. And Cardona's
the third time Cardona has rolled out of the ring to get a break.
Yep.
Look at him right now. We've heard the crowd chant, "You ain't ready." I think Matt Cardona is asking himself that same question right now.
I think maybe whatever game plan he had has not come to fruition, and now he's on his bicycle running away from Trevor Murdoch, and then gets right on top, finding an advantage, ground and pound on the champion. Coming off the ropes, Murdoch. Kick to the chest, follows it up with a chop.
And another.
Oh, a poke to the eye. A poke to the eye. But it didn't matter. Murdoch's got him up. Oh, Nelson slam. Into the cover. Looking to retain. 2 count.
Whew. He's rolling out again. Trevor Murdoch's doing some damage to Matt Cardona. Constantly having to roll out to just catch his breath.
I have to wonder if there's going to get a point where Trevor gets a little frustrated. Maybe this is it.
Here we come. Yeah, Tim,
Are you
exactly.
going to
Your
get
point, he's
frustrated
coming
that,
after him
that
now.
every time you get momentum, that he rolls out of the ring and tries to break that?
Exactly right.
Heavy right hand by the champion. Takes Cardona, throws him back into the ring.
He went out, got him, and threw him right back in because that's where you have to be to.
Oh, my gosh.
Dirty
You have to be in the ring to win.
Kicking the middle rope into the groin of Trevor Murdoch, and the champion has collapsed on the outside.
Yeah, for a lot of people out there that have been in.
Concrete, guys.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, he hit his head, face. Oh my God. Wait a minute. Hold on.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, that was vicious.
Can't win the championship by count out.
That was vicious.
He really busted his head on the concrete.
The champ's bleeding like a stuck
He's
pig.
busted open. There's blood everywhere. Oh my gosh. Guys, this is not, look at the blood just pouring out of his head. Literally face first on the concrete.
Kevin Keenan has now begun the count.
Oh, I can't look at this. And he's literally gushing blood out of his head. It's all over the floor. It's all over Trevor's body.
Literally split his head. Literally split his head open on the concrete. And he's dusting his hands like he's accomplished something.
Oh, this is brutal. I can't watch this. Oh my gosh.
This is your champion!
This is a savage beating at this point. Trevor Murdoch trying to get to his feet.
Oh, look at the
He's
blood.
losing so much blood. Oh, again, punching him in the face.
Oh my God.
What I don't understand is Matt Cardona ran. He rolled out of the ring at every opportunity, and he took a cheap shot of the concrete. And now what he's yelling is, "This is your champion." I don't understand that. What is he
He's
doing?
completely gone under the ring.
What is he doing?
He's gone completely under the ring.
And got a chair.
Wait a minute.
Why?
You can't win the championship when you're disqualified. Trevor Murdoch is losing a lot of blood.
Trevor Murdoch, I don't know if he is. There you go. The close-up shot of him right now. He's gushing blood right now. I don't even think he knows where he is right now. I think that
I don't think he can see past it.
the head first on the concrete really did some damage to the champ here.
Matt Cardona has him in trouble. Why is he taking a chance on a disqualification by bringing that chair in?
Oh my gosh!
This is really, I'm not gonna lie, this is really hard to watch right now. This is really hard to watch.
Bloodied and beaten up. Now being choked with that chair. Oh, come on! Get that chair! Get that. I'm so frustrated at this point. Get that shirt out of his hand.
Just
it's hard.
pouring
I
blood.
know.
You nailed it on the head. This is hard to watch.
Pun intended, nailed it.
Yeah, just pouring blood. This doesn't take long for you to start feeling that in your body, start feeling yourself get weak. You know, I don't know at what point blood loss, but it's already going to become a factor. It has to. And Trevor's going to have to fight through this to keep that championship. He's going to have to fight through it.
Oh my gosh, there's so much blood everywhere. It's all over Cardona. It's all over the floor next to us here at the desk. It's seeping in the canvas of the ring.
Champ's trying to get to his feet. Cardona's right there.
A literal bloodbath of a match right
This
now.
could be it after the neck breaker. All that blood loss could be enough to champ.
No.
You can't beat him that way.
He's got too much heart. He's not letting it go this way.
But look at it, and look at his eyes, though.
Guys.
Look at his eyes.
He doesn't. They're glossed over.
Yeah, I don't think he knows where he's at. I mean, he literally split his head open on the concrete.
I mean, we saw it right next to us at the desk. We saw his head
5 feet
face
away.
first into the concrete floor.
And still the blood dripping from the face.
Oh my gosh, and just a repeated kick to his head on top of that.
He's out.
Dear gosh.
What is it? The lights are on and nobody's home. Trevor's gonna. He can do this because he is full of heart. He's asking him. He's trying to stop this. No,
Trevor's
not going to stop this.
This is the NWA World Heavyweight Championship. This is what Trevor Murdoch has spent his entire career, what his entire life fighting for.
Oh, driving his head into the mat.
Trying to open the wound up even more.
Look at the blood pouring out of Trevor. I can't.
Here comes Cardona. Gets caught.
He got it.
Oh my God.
Power up, champ.
That was everything. He gave it everything he had left right there. No covering.
He's going up. He's going up.
He's not done.
This is how he won the championship. This is how he's won his matches.
Oh my gosh. Oh no.
Losing his balance.
Well, he may be losing consciousness.
He hits it.
Into the cover. Into the cover. That was so close. 2 9/10.
I have no idea how he has the stamina and power to be able to do that.
Looking for a pile driver, perhaps.
Guys, he's dripping blood like a faucet has been turned on.
He's got him up. He's got him up.
Can he hit it? He hit it.
This has got to be it.
Shane's a Harley race.
This has got to be it, Trevor.
There's the cover.
This is it. This is it.
Are down.
No way.
Trevor Murdoch's so exhausted, so much blood is lost. He wasn't able to get a good cover. He couldn't hook a leg.
Can't.
Couldn't get any leverage.
Tim, the more blood you lose, the weaker you become physically. But
Cardona sidestepping. Trevor Murdoch with his own momentum going into the chair, so there's no disqualification with that.
The longer this goes, the more blood that he loses, the harder it is.
He's gonna go. This could be it
watch,
here.
guys. I can't watch. I can't.
Radio silence! Radio silence!
This can't be it. This can't be.
Champion!
No.
The winner of this match, and new NWA World Heavyweight Champion, Matt Cardona!
I cannot say no enough. I'm so disgusted right now, as I have been since Cardona has stepped foot in the NWA, disrespecting the company, disrespecting Trevor, what he did to him tonight and the way he won this belt.
Coming out here.
No.
Mike Knox.
We got Mike Knox, who's
Chelsea
been integral in Matt Cardona's success here in the NWA. Cardona's wife, Chelsea
EMTs
Green,
are out.
and VSK, one of Matt Cardona's proteges. He's out here as well. We've got medical staff trying to attend to Trevor Murdoch. He is still bleeding like a stuck pig here on the outside. And again, standing over Trevor Murdoch.
Look at him. Oh my gosh, I'm so fired up right now. Matt
Cardona has done it. He has etched his name in history. As much as Velvet, I know you disapprove, myself included in that.
Oh,
but
you can
this
throw
is
me in
it
there
right
too.
here.
You can throw me in that too.
How could anyone approve of this? How?
At the end of the day, he is our new World's Heavyweight Champion, and he's going to take Sweet Charlotte to the Crockett Cup. Oh, no, come on.
Come on, now we have to...
Hey, can somebody check on Trevor? Is he okay?
Just...
All hail the Deathmatch King. All hail the new NWA World Heavyweight Champion. Don't worry, Billy. I'm not going to do what Shane Douglas did with this title. I do want to take a second. Seriously, guys. I want to thank everybody who was responsible for this memorable night. Me. Thank you, Matt Cardona, for being a self-made superstar. Thank you, Matt Cardona, for changing the business. And thank you, Matt Cardona, for making all of my dreams come true. But guys, I gotta thank you guys for celebrating tonight. Chelsea Green, my wife, I love you. Thank you. Big Mike Knox, my best friend in the business, thank you for being here. VSK, everybody give it up for VSK. My best friend from childhood, VSK, thank you for being here. And now, NWA Universe, thank you. Thank you guys for always believing in me. And I promise I am going to take NWA to new heights. I promise I am going to save NWA. And most importantly, I promise to be the greatest NWA World Heavyweight Champion ever! I'm never gonna lose this title. I'm gonna be the champion forever, and there is nobody who
minute.
What is
I
going
can think of one man who can stop him for sure.
Not if Magnus has anything to say. I'm sorry, Aldis has anything to say about it. I know him as Magnus, but his name is Nick Aldis, and he is not happy with what he just heard from Matt Cardona.
Yeah, he just heard Cardona say that he was saving the NWA and he's going to be the best champion of all time. And this man carried the NWA on its back for a long time.
This isn't the NWA universe. This is the NWA, son. These are wrestling fans. We don't need your buzzwords, okay? This is where men settle their business in the squared circle, okay? So, Matt, as the former world's champion for over 1,000 days, I might remind you, I want to talk about the fact that being the world's champion comes with a great deal of responsibility, a great deal of leadership. And with that being said, I'm taking the responsibility right now on behalf of myself, on behalf of Trevor Murdoch, of Harley Race, Ric Flair, Jack Briscoe, Dory Funk Jr., the American Dream Dusty Rhodes, every single one of those wrestlers back there, Billy Corgan, and every single one of these fans in Oak Grove, Kentucky, to tell you that I think you're an arrogant, self-righteous son of a bitch. And I just have one more piece of information for you. As many of the people in this room and all of those guys back there know, the last time I was in this ring for that championship was in St. Louis, Missouri with Trevor Murdoch, which means I have a contractual rematch that I never redeemed. So I'm here tonight to tell you flat out that your challenger is looking right at you. So don't get too comfortable with that 10 pounds of gold, because it's coming home to the real world's champion.
Okay.
Nick Aldis has laid down the gauntlet. I think we've just seen a main event for one of our nights at the Crockett Cup. It's happening. Nick Aldis, the national treasure, versus Matt Cardona for the 10 pounds of gold.
I'm digging this right now.
How dare you win my night? How dare you win? I'm the champion. You're the path. You're the path. I'm the champion. This is mine. This is mine. Don't let it back on me. Don't respect.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will see you next week for our go-home edition of Power Surge, including never seen before matches featuring Allison Kay, Judias Salernaro, and much, much more. We'll see you then.